Hey guys, it is me, Simply Julia Lauren, and I am here with y'all's questions about Indigenous strands and my 2019 Indigenous Strands journey. For those of you who don't know or are new here, hello. Please subscribe to my channel so that you don't miss what's going on. I found out about Indigenous Strands at the end of 2018. I did a journey to do her method for an entire year. So for the entire year of 2019, I decided to do her method to see what would work. I went from just above, or I should say just below bra strap length to now past waist length hair, on the road to hip length, as a matter of fact. As you can see here's my waist, and I am past that towards my hips, and it would be even longer if it wasn't twisted up, but you get the general idea. So I asked you guys to give me your questions so I can give you feedback. For those of you who don't know, I tweaked some things in her journey to fit my own hair care regimen. So here we go. Question number 1, do you deep condition? I used to deep condition religiously using Organic Root Stimulator's hair mayonnaise. My mom's been using that on my hair since I was a child, and I used it well into my adult years. However, with the Indigenous Strands journey, because you're using pure castor oil on your hair and it's so rich in those fatty acids, you really don't need deep conditioner. So I no longer use it. I haven't used deep conditioner in about a year and a half, going on 2 years. Question number 2, how do you moisturize your hair in between wash days? There's a plane going by. I've been quarantined, by the way, you guys, so that's why the window is open to get some fresh air in here, but you can hear stuff. So how do I moisturize in between wash days? If I feel like my hair needs to be moisturized in between wash days, I will just get my spray bottle that has aloe vera juice and lavender essential oil, and I'll just spray it over my twists and then kind of just let it air dry before putting on a silk scarf and then a cap. One way that you can really make sure that the moisture stays in your hair is by keeping your hair wrapped up. Indigenous Strands does that a lot. When I have twists in my hair, I like to do that a lot. Or I'll put my hair in a bun on top of my head. You guys might have seen a lot of that in 2019, a lot of buns on my head. I will also say that if you are in an area where it gets really, really hot during the summer, I highly recommend using a heat protectant before going outside. That's something I recently started doing when I was living in Arizona and Texas, and now Texas, just to kind of make sure that all that good stuff stays in your strand. Question 3, how often do you detangle your twists? So I get product buildup very, very, very easily. So I will wash my hair every 7 to 10 days. That is when I detangle my hair. I detangle while I'm in the shower. I think Indigenous Strands says that she washes her hair around like once a month or so. I have done that before. I just get product buildup way too easily. Question 4, do you have high or low porosity hair? I have absolutely no idea. I know I need to test it just because a lot of people have asked me that before, and I just have never tested it. So when I test it out, I'll let you know. Question number 5, does the method still work with conventional products? Yes and no. The whole point of Indigenous Strands Method is to make sure that you're doing as little as possible and using the most natural products possible. So for example, when I use conditioner, the reason I use that conditioner was because it was on clearance and my hair happens to like it. I prefer to use Live Clean conditioner. It is about, depending on which one you get, it can be 95 to 97% all natural products. The whole point is to make sure that you're using as little as possible. So I'm not gonna say that you can't use conventional products, but it's probably not the most beneficial because you're not giving your hair the best that it can have, if that makes sense. So another example is that I'm used to having a lather and I'm used to having a shampoo. I'm not used to washing my hair with just aloe vera and rosemary, or with aloe vera and apple cider vinegar. So what I like to do is I will use pure African black soap, which is plant-based, and or I will use pure Castile soap, which is also plant-based. And I usually use like a tea tree or a peppermint one to give my hair a little bit of a boost. And so I'll use that to wash my hair and to make sure that I get all the debris and all product out of my hair. Question number 6, how does your hair feel? Does it feel dry or whatever? So the first time I did the Indigenous Strands Method, my hair felt, I won't say brittle, but it did feel like it was lacking. And the reason it felt like it was lacking was because I had conditioned my hair to feel like it needed all these different products, and that's not true. So after maybe 2 months of doing the Indigenous Strands Method, my hair felt extremely soft. It felt soft, it was moisturized. It didn't feel like it was dried out at all. Because the key is you can't use too much of the product either. So drenching your hair in aloe vera juice and then putting like globs and globs of castor oil isn't going to make your hair feel any better. Make sure that you only use what you need. You don't want to have like excess product dripping and seeping off of your hair, but it will take time for your hair to actually adjust to what's going on. The main thing is that you want to be consistent. Just because you tried it once doesn't mean that it doesn't work. Think of it like a skincare routine. You have to be consistent with it in order to see results, right? I would say to give her routine, especially if you're only gonna wash your hair once a month, give it like 2 or 3 months. And if your hair is still feeling like dry or brittle, then it's time to start tweaking some things to see what your hair actually needs. Question number 7, does my scalp feel clean and itch-free? So the first thing I did was I followed her routine to a T. I didn't change anything. For me personally, my hair, or my scalp I should say, doesn't like having so much apple cider vinegar on it, because the apple cider vinegar does make my scalp start to itch if I use too much of it. Key, for me, if I use too much of it. So what I had to do was I had to transition back to an all-natural shampoo. So I like to use either pure African black soap. I literally get the bar and I rub it into like whatever section I'm working on, and then I wash my hair. Or I will make a liquid shampoo by getting some some African black soap and some boiling water. I may put a little bit of castor oil in it if I'm feeling fancy. Or I will just use pure Castile soap. I like Dr. Bonner's Castile soap, and that's what I use as a shampoo, just to kind of make sure that my scalp is completely clean and itch-free. Question number 8, do you retwist throughout the week? No. So because I don't wash my hair as little as she does, I don't have to retwist as often as she does, if that makes sense. So I believe that she only washes her hair roughly around once a month. I know that for me, I tend to have an itchy scalp, so I like to wash my hair every 7 to 10 days. So I only will retwist when it's my wash day, and I'm usually perfectly fine with that. I may have some frizzies up here and my edges aren't laid, but whatever, it's all about having my natural hair anyway. So I personally am good. I don't feel the need to retwist, just because my twists are usually okay. And this has been a couple days old now, so yeah, I'm good. And last question, does your hair smell? So when I was doing her method to a T, I was actually very surprised. My hair did not smell. Even though I was using apple cider vinegar, you want to make sure you're diluting your apple cider vinegar. If you're doing that, if you're diluting your apple cider vinegar the way that you should be, your hair will not smell. If you're using essential oils, especially if you use my essential oil scalp spray, depending on how much you dilute those, that will also make your hair smell. So things like rosemary, tea tree, thyme. Every time I use thyme, like it literally smells like I just got done rubbing pizza in my hair. But no, my hair doesn't smell. The main thing is that you want to keep your hair sealed up, keep it wrapped up, and leave it alone. You have to leave your hair alone, and you have to be consistent. If you don't do those 2 things, you will not get the same growth. So for those that are interested in seeing how I do my Indigenous Strands Method, I actually just made a video about it. All of the things that I use are not in the video. I ran out of flaxseed gel, and I ran out of the Live Clean conditioner, so I had to use what I had on hand. But if you guys are interested in seeing that video, I will link it down in the description box below, or you can click on the time cards up here, or is it up here? It should be up here. They will be over there. But yeah, let me know if you guys have any other questions or concerns or comments. Leave a comment down, not in the description box. I always say that. Just leave a comment down below. You guys know that I will always reach out to you guys, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.